behind me is the world's first working observer and piston ever made in real life. And to show that it actually works, I'll use this. Isn't that cool? Technically, I have already done a video going through exactly how I made these blocks, but it wasn't really that technical. You know, I talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't that crazy. So this time, I want to try to talk about how it actually works, because I think it's quite interesting. And to start things off, I'll talk about the observer, because I think it's the easiest to understand. Basically, the way an observer works is pretty simple. All an observer does is it detects things in front of it. And the way it works is we have a little tiny LDR wedged into here. And to see how that works, we have to go into the electrical bit. Now that's what it looks like. Now there's quite a few parts in this, so I'll try to break it down as best as I can. We have an LED here, and an LED here, and next to this one we have an LDR, which basically changes its resistance, how much current it lets through it, by how much light intensity there is incident to it. So if there's more light, more resistance, and that's all connected to this circuit on this breadboard. Now, if I'm honest, I actually have no idea how this works. There's so many wires going into this that I think I spent one 3 AM session just trying to get this to work, just trying anything, and by some miracle, it works. I think there's probably a more efficient way I could do this. It looks crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But it works, so, you know, maybe there's some truth to it, I don't know. And then with this, a little microcontroller, I use these microcontrollers for all of these type of projects, really. So that when the current that is adjusted by this LDR drops below a certain threshold, an output is given. So, you can see this graph here on my laptop. This shows the current LDR levels, and this red line here is the threshold. So, it's going to be quite difficult for me to show you this, but I'll try my best. So, 3, 2, 1, bam. Okay, and now I'm gonna step away. 3, 2, 1, bam. Do you see? So that is how the observer works. But one of the key parts that I've changed is that the output of the lights, so that when the lights turn on, this cable here is also activated. And this connects to the piston, which looks insane underneath, I can't lie. On a bit of a side note, the way redstone works in Minecraft is that there's just one wire towards it. In real life, you know, you need two. You know, this is the neutral wire, this is the live wire. So if you were trying to make redstone in real life, you technically need 2 wires, not just one. You know, a live and a neutral. Anyway, I don't know. Now the way this works might need quite a bit of explaining, so, you know, bear with me here, okay? And we'll start from top to bottom. So, this whole bit here is what's called a pneumatic cylinder. This is the thing that actually pushes the piston. And the way it works is it needs compressed air going into here and leaving from here. It's so dark, oh my gosh. And it gets that air from this piece here. Is basically like a solenoid that controls the airflow to this piston. Really, it's a bit like a switch, really. So when the solenoid bit is here, it's only letting airflow coming out. When the solenoid is activated, pushing it, this then is getting airflow to it. That's how it works. At least I think it is. If we then follow the yellow tube, we then get to a few coils here. I could probably make this a bit neater, really. And it gets led into this bit here, which goes into this bit here, which is the compressor. This is basically the heart of the piston. This converts all of the electricity going from the device into compressed air, and it gets that power from this blue guy here, Sigma 6. This takes power from this cable here. I've currently got my laptop attached to it, so, you know, I'll switch that out afterwards if I wanted it to work. And that powers the battery, which powers the compressor, which powers the solenoid, which powers the cylinder. However, the observant ones among you may notice there's these cables here. This is actually to make it work still. All of this isn't enough, you know, you need a separate battery just to power this, which is what that little black box there is at the back. I'm not sure if you can see it. Now this is the whole other kind of like half of the piston. You know, when I'm troubleshooting this, trying to make it work, there's no point in me connecting the whole observer, you know, to this. There's no point in doing that. So instead I just used my own little mini, very simple circuit. I'm not sure if you can see it very well. And that controlled it. These two cables here connect to a little relay on the floor, which allows this black 12-volt battery to power the solenoid. You know, it needs all of this. And it works that when this cable and this cable are connected to a circuit and is activated, then these two cables are also activated. So it really is like a switch. So the steps to make this piston work are as follows. You have to plug in the right power. You then have to turn this battery on, like that, and then power this. Which sounds kind of insane, really. It's quite loud, I'm not gonna lie. And that's it. That is absolutely everything to make these two Minecraft blocks, wow, that's blurry, oh my god, work. If you haven't seen the video of me making the piston or the observer one, check it out. It's probably on my face right now, so you can click it and watch it, and that'll make me very happy. I don't know why this camera keeps going out of focus. It's weird. Anyway, goodbye guys, bye.